Chelsea set conditions for an Enzo Fernández sale. José Mourinho says Real Madrid have finished their summer transfer business. And Paul Scholes blasts Bruno Fernandes after Manchester United's defeat to Hull City. And this is your daily football news. Chelsea set conditions for Enzo Fernández sale. Manchester City are urgently preparing a new proposal for Enzo Fernández after the midfielder became a major target for new manager Enzo Maresca. However, Chelsea have made it clear that they will only consider selling the Argentine if two strict conditions are met. First, the Blues want at least £120 million for the midfielder. Second, Chelsea must find a suitable replacement before allowing Fernández to leave Stamford Bridge. Manchester City see Fernández as a priority because their midfield has lost several important players. However, replacing him could prove difficult for Chelsea. Their alternative targets, including Martin Zubimendi and Alex Scott, have both been rejected by their current clubs. This situation is making negotiations increasingly complicated as City push to strengthen their midfield. Mourinho says Real Madrid have finished summer transfer. José Mourinho has suggested that Real Madrid have completed their summer transfer business ahead of their match against Real Sociedad at the 𝒂𝒊𝒍𝒚 Bernabeu. The Portuguese manager is completely satisfied with the squad after the club added several quality players, including Marc Cucurella, Ibrahima Konate, and Yan Diomande. Mourinho does not want any further departures, even though the transfer window remains open. Returning to the Bernabeu, the manager also played down expectations of a special reception for himself. Instead, Mourinho called on Real Madrid supporters to direct their love and support towards the players. He wants the focus to remain on the squad as they prepare to begin a promising new season and build momentum with their strengthened team. Paul Scholes blasts Bruno Fernandes after Hull defeat. Manchester United legend Paul Scholes has strongly criticized Bruno Fernandes after the club suffered a shock defeat to newly promoted Hull City. Scholes believes Fernandes should have kept quiet instead of publicly criticizing his teammates after the disappointing result. The former midfielder also argued that Fernandes himself produced a very poor performance during the defeat. Scholes questioned Manchester United's new midfield partnership, saying the combination of Youri Tielemans and Andre Santos was no better than last season's Manu and Casemiro pairing. United are now facing an early midfield crisis and are rushing to complete the £70 million signing of Carlos Baleba from Brighton. The club hopes the Cameroon midfielder can strengthen the center of the pitch and help solve the problems exposed during their opening match. Endrick set to miss Real Sociedad clash. Endrick is still not fully recovered from his muscle injury and is likely to remain unavailable when Real Madrid face Real Sociedad. The latest information from Madrid indicates that the Brazilian forward has not yet returned to normal training, affecting Real Madrid's plans for the upcoming match. José Mourinho is monitoring Endrick's condition closely and is waiting for more positive signs from the youngster's recovery. The Portuguese manager has already prepared several tactical options that could involve the young striker. However, Endrick's continued absence means Real Madrid will have one fewer attacking option available. The club will therefore continue to monitor his progress before deciding when he can safely return to full training and eventually become available for competitive action again. Harry Kane rules out Bayern exit. Harry Kane has directly addressed his future and ended speculation about a possible return to the Premier League this summer. Speaking to The Times, the England striker confirmed that he has no intention of leaving Bayern Munich at the moment. Kane explained that his feelings about missing England and his former league have changed since he initially left Tottenham. Instead, the 33-year-old is now comfortable and happy with his life in Germany. His comments provide a clear indication that Kane wants to continue with Bayern rather than consider a return to England during this transfer window. The striker has therefore put an end to the current rumors surrounding his future, making it clear that he is satisfied with his situation in Germany and intends to remain with the Bundesliga club. Newcastle refused to sell Lewis Hall. Newcastle manager Matthias Gisel has firmly rejected the possibility of selling Lewis Hall during the final days of the summer transfer window. The 21-year-old defender made a costly mistake in stoppage time against Liverpool, leading to the penalty that allowed Liverpool to rescue a 2-2 draw. However, 𝒂𝒊𝒍𝒚 remains impressed by Hall's overall performance and continues to trust the young left-back. Manchester United have shown interest in signing the former Chelsea academy player, but Newcastle have no intention of allowing him to leave. 𝒂𝒊𝒚 believes the club cannot afford another major departure after already losing several important players, including Gordon, Guimaraes and Tonali. Despite the late mistake against Liverpool, Hall remains firmly part of Newcastle's plans for the season. Arsenal close to Gabriel Martinelli sale to Al Hilal. Arsenal are close to agreeing a deal to sell Gabriel Martinelli to Al Hilal for a fee above £50 million. If completed, the transfer would establish a new club record for an Arsenal player sale. Martinelli is now considered to be outside Mikel Arteta's plans and previously rejected an approach from Galatasaray earlier this month. Arsenal have also made their position clear by leaving the Brazilian winger out of their matchday squads for the first 2 games of the season. Martinelli is entering the final year of his contract at the Emirates. Although Arsenal have an option to extend it by another 12 months, a move to Al Hilal could also give Martinelli a significant salary increase from his current £180,000 a week wages. Arsenal targets €70 million Matheus Fernandes Pardo. Arsenal have added Matheus Fernandes Pardo to their list of priority targets as Mikel Arteta and the club's board look to strengthen their attack. The Gunners are impressed by the potential of the young Lille forward and want to bring him to the Emirates. However, the biggest obstacle is Lille's asking price. The French club are demanding around €70 million before they will consider selling the Belgian striker. Lille have already shown that they are not prepared to accept significantly lower offers. Atletico Madrid previously proposed more than €40 million, while RB Leipzig offered around €35 million, but both bids were rejected. Arsenal will therefore need to make a much stronger financial commitment if they want to beat the competition and convince Lille to allow Fernandes Pardo to leave. UEFA chief criticizes Infantino over World Cup plan. UEFA President Alexander Ceferin has delivered strong criticism of FIFA President Gianni Infantino over plans to commercialize part of the ownership of the World Cup. Ceferin described the idea as even more concerning than the controversial European Super League project. Speaking on the podcast The Rest is Politics, the UEFA chief revealed that Infantino had not contacted him directly since the issue was raised. Ceferin also rejected the suggestion that Europe is opposing FIFA simply because European football has financial advantages. His comments highlight growing tension between UEFA and FIFA over the proposed commercial changes surrounding the World Cup. The disagreement could become an important issue as FIFA continues discussing how the tournament's commercial structure could develop in the future. Chelsea ready £85 million Alex Scott bid. Chelsea are preparing a major new offer for Bournemouth midfielder Alex Scott as they look to strengthen their midfield. According to Team Talk, the Blues are willing to pay around £85 million or approximately €99.3 million, which is significantly higher than the £64 million proposal they previously made. Scott, who is 23 years old, made 39 appearances in all competitions for Bournemouth last season and scored 4 goals. Chelsea are impressed by his versatility and believe he has significant potential to develop further. The London club are also considering Scott as a possible replacement if Enzo Fernández leaves Stamford Bridge. The Argentine midfielder is currently attracting strong interest from Manchester City. If Chelsea complete the deal, Scott would become one of the club's biggest signings of the summer transfer window. Liverpool only sell Gakpo for 2 new wingers. Liverpool are only prepared to sell Cody Gakpo if they can sign 2 new wingers during the final 8 days of the transfer window. The club's main priority remains Bradley Barcola, while Tottenham had already reached an agreement over personal terms with Gakpo back in July. Manchester City have also started holding more active discussions with the Dutch forward's representatives. Liverpool's final decision will depend heavily on Gakpo, but the club's own plans for strengthening both wings are also important. The Reds do not want to lose one attacking option without bringing in enough replacements. With the transfer window entering its final days, Liverpool now face a crucial decision over Gakpo's future and whether they can complete the additions needed to allow the Dutchman to leave. And that wraps up your football breaking news from the past 24 hours. All the most exciting updates from the football world are dropping right here on the Football Daily channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.